Hey everybody, today I'll be showing you guys how to make AI models for your Bambu printers and Bambu Studio using Tripo or Tripo, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. If you have an image of your model, that's perfect. If not, use a LLM or whatever you need to create the concept of your model. I'm using Google Gemini because I'm doing a model based on South Park, and a lot of times ChatGPT they just won't do it with copyright stuff. But I do recommend using ChatGPT because Google Gemini is not very good for images. So for this video, I'm going to be creating a rubber duck in the theme of Chef from South Park. Here's the concept image they gave me. It's got some text, it's got a background. Both of those will not convert very well, so we're going to ask it to remove them. Okay, now we have the version of the duck that we want, so I'm going to copy the image and I'm going to paste it in the Tripo 3D image to model maker. And I'm going to turn Ultra Mesh off because that's primarily for video game models, and I'm going to turn parts on. Okay, now we have our model. It's all in one color, which is fine because Bambu will not let you import this with colors no matter how you do it. They're just not going to let. The only way they'll let you import a model with colors is if you use their technology, and I prefer not to do that in this case. So we're going to go ahead and export the model as a 3MF file. And now we'll head to Bambu Studio to begin coloring and assigning parts. With Tripo, I've noticed it's been given these errors. I just click yes, it'll fix it. You're going to have to repair the model, however, and that's going to take a second. So right here, I noticed a bunch of bumps on the model. I've never seen this before. I usually generate all my models with ChatGPT, like I said earlier, and I went back to the LLM for a reference image. And this is where I noticed that the model itself had all those bumps. The AI did it because they thought it would be more realistic. So make sure your AI is not doing that. But anyways, for the sake of the video, I'm just going to keep on coloring this, show you guys some techniques to color it. It's really a bit of a tedious job. I'm going to try to do the best tutorial I could do. The first thing I do is find all the parts that Tripo made, and I give them names. I start to think of the colors I'm going to assign to these parts. So now that all the parts are assigned, we're going to go ahead and pick some colors. We're just going to start with the white color for the entire model. And now we're going to go down to these parts, and we're going to see if any of these parts can be a color just to save us on the painting. So it's really weird how they break the parts down, but I just realized I did the shirt and the bib backwards. It's really interesting how they break the parts down. It was like one eyebrow and one eyeball, and the beard wasn't even a part, and so this is what we came up with. So the rest of it's going to have to be colored manually, and I am going to have to switch the shirt so the bib is white and the shirt is red. So we're going to go ahead and click the model, and we will click the paint bucket, and we're going to get to work. The very first thing we'll work on is this first wing. Right there, I just made a mistake. I thought it was on the bucket, and I was going for 20 edge detection, and I didn't read it, so we just got to back out of this. I like to roll with 20 on edge detection for my first guess. If it looks like it's not going to work, as it won't right here, then I'll cut it in half and go to 10. Then I'll drop it to 8, and then I'll drop it to 6. And if none of those work, then that means the edges are just too smooth, and you're going to have to color it by hand. So the best way to color this wing is I'm going to take the color of it and I'm just going to do the border of it. And if we do the border of it, that will create a color edge, and we could fill that in sort of like a Microsoft Paint bucket type coloring method. So my best pointers is the closer you get, the easier this is going to be. I'm actually not very close right now, but that seems to be a decent enough edge that is keeping the paint for most of the part where I want it. And you're going to want to change your angle of the wing as you get around different edges, because otherwise you're just going to be painting the inner part of the wing and it's going to look like you're painting the edge, but you actually aren't. Okay, so we have a basic edge. It's not the prettiest. We'll have to clean it up a little bit maybe, but now we could use the paint to fill it in. And just like that, the majority of the wing is already done. And as you paint, the edges seem to stand out a little bit more. We know this is a shirt, so we're going to go ahead and give a little bit of a shirt edge right here. And I'm still zoomed out a little further than what I typically am, but the lines are matching up pretty decent. So we're just going to go ahead and paint the shirt border and make sure the line work on this wing is not too bad. Now the image reference has the shirt kind of tore off in the back. We're just going to give him a full size shirt, and that's going to make it real easy here. So we're just going to go ahead and use the paint option, and we're going to fill in his shirt here. It looks like we actually got lucky, and the majority of this wing had a clean enough edge to be detected. So that wing's going to be easy to do. So let's go ahead and fix his apron here. We know this needs to be white. Most of that was edged pretty well. It looks like the bottom needs some work, but luckily nobody's going to see the bottom, so this isn't going to be a very hard fix. Basically, I went through the same trial and error procedure as before. Sometimes I'll paint the entire edge one color and then try to rely on the edge detection, but in this case, the edge detection did not work, so we got to manually paint it once again. Okay, we can see he still needs work with his beard, his eyes, and these straps right here. So we're gonna go ahead and mess with these straps a little bit. The very first thing I'm gonna do is, the reason why they're these different colors is because there's a ton of different angles right here, and it's not gonna be easy to color this. So what I'm gonna do is try to get rid of all this red. Okay, now that we have the majority of this strap colored, all the angles taken care of, we're going to change this color using our paint bucket. And this is supposed to be white. So finally the edges were clean enough where the paint bucket was able to do the full strap around his neck. We just have to clean it up a little bit right here where all the angles are. Alright, so we're not going to worry about that other wing. I showed you the wing. So now let's worry about these eyes, the face, the beard. Let's try to finish this guy up. Unfortunately, the reoccurring theme with this model is that the edge detection has not been great. At least in this situation, it worked a little bit with the eye. We still have this little bit of a mark, and we're going to have to look at this for several different angles just to make sure that we're not missing any crevices. And despite the fact that his eye looks like a little nipple, definitely looks like it's got a big edge around it, I could not find a good increment that would work with this. So once again, we had to switch to a manual. For the pupil, what I tried to do is just find a good size relevant to the pupil itself, and then we just click it once or twice. Okay, a big part of this that's missing is his beard, and once again, the edge detection for the beard is not going to work. So once again, what we're going to do is we're going to create our own edge. We're going to do the color edge again, and we're going to do the full outline of this beard and then use the bucket to fill it in. Now we did remove the text because usually the AI messes up text. In this case, I don't think it really would have. Chef in all caps letters is not that hard to do, but I didn't want to risk it, so we're just going to add the text ourselves. And there you have it, everybody. Well, I didn't do his other wing, but you guys know how to do that, right? We have our first AI model. Nice job, guys.